Let's start with this thought. The pattern of purity, or the model of purity, you might say, is Christ. The pattern of purity is Jesus. This is true of all that we are as the followers of Christ. And notice what it says in Ephesians 5, verse 1. Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love, just as Christ also loved you, and gave Himself up for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God as a fragrant aroma. And if my life is pleasing to God, then it's like a fragrant, like in the Old Testament, a fragrant offering that's rising up to God, and God is breathing that in. And some who profess to be the followers of Christ are a stench in God's nostrils. But you can be a fragrant aroma if you're living a life of purity. Beginning in verse 3, he says this, but immorality or any impurity or greed must not even be named among you, as is proper among saints. Whew. Not a lot of squirming room there, is there? There must be no filthiness. That's a term that means general obscenity. Any talk that is sexually degrading of someone. The pattern of purity is Jesus. The opposite of purity is perversion. In verse 5 we learn that the price of impurity, prolonged impurity, unrepented impurity, is hell. For this you know with certainty, that no immoral or impure person or covetous man who is an idolater has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God. Now, this does not mean that if you've ever committed any of those sins we just considered, that you won't go to heaven. It means if any of those sins are the unrepented, unchanged, secret, or public practice of your life, you don't really know Christ, no matter what you say. At the root of a pattern, at the root of a life that is consumed with sexuality, at the root of a life that is consumed with silly, base, gutter talk, at the root of a life that is consumed with covetousness and greed, God isn't the object of worship in that life. Who is worshipped? Self. It's idolatry. It's not Buddha totem pole idolatry. It's me idolatry. I'm the one I worship. I'm the most important. What I want comes first. And if that's the pattern of your life, you don't know God. Verse 7. Do not be partakers with them, for you were formerly darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. Men love darkness rather than light because their deeds are evil. You were formerly darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. Romans 12:1, I beg you by the mercies of God to present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. It's your reasonable service. It's a basic expectation. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind. Somehow we've lost this in the church. The biblical teaching on holiness was once the central message of Christian living. The gospel, conversion, and then holiness until I see Christ. We've lost that. Holiness. Do not participate in the unfruitful deeds of darkness. For this reason it says, awake, sleeper, arise from the dead, and Christ will shine upon you. Holiness, purity, trying to find out what pleases the Lord. Because that's all I really need to know. What pleases Him? How much clearer or plainer could it be?